Hey there coin hunters, welcome back to the channel where your spare change could literally make you rich. Now imagine this, you're digging through an old cookie tin full of dusty coins in your grandma's attic and boom, you pull out a Washington quarter from 1976. Looks totally normal right until you flip it over and realize something's missing. No Ellis Island, no Statue of Liberty, not just plain old Independence. Guess what? That little quarter you almost used to buy a pack of gum could be worth up to $876,000. Yes, you heard that right, $876,000. Today we're diving deep into the legendary 1976 No Ellis Island Washington quarter, why it's so rare, how to spot it, and how one guy almost lost it in a vending machine but ended up a few commas richer instead. Stick around, this story could literally change your wallet. Alright, so let's break this coin down without putting you to sleep with numismatic jargon. 1976 was a big deal in US history. It was the bicentennial year. Everyone was hyped, fireworks, apple pie, bald eagles, you name it. The Mint released special coins to celebrate 200 years of American independence. Now, here's the twist, most of those quarters from 1976 have a cool dual date. On the front 1776 to 1976, and the back usually shows a colonial drummer boy. Looks patriotic, feels patriotic, smells like freedom. There were a few super early pressings, and I mean very few, where a mistake happened. Instead of the updated bicentennial design, the Mint accidentally used an old Washington quarter reverse. And here's the real kicker, that version didn't have the Ellis Island or Statue of Liberty design that was supposed to come later in the 1980s on different coins. So technically, this coin isn't a No Ellis Island error because it wasn't ever supposed to have it in the first place, but collectors call it that anyway because compared to all the flashy patriotic quarters, this one looks naked, just an eagle and no celebration. Now here's the juicy part, why is it worth so much? Well, rarity drives value. Only a few of these slipped through. We're talking under 10 known examples floating around, and one just sold for $876,000 at auction. That's not a typo, that's real life money, enough to buy a house, see a really nice truck, or 175,000 Slurpees if that's your thing. Okay, quick story. So my cousin Rick, total skeptic, says all this coin stuff is baloney. One day we're at his house watching football. He dumps out a jar of change to order pizza in. I'm like, dude, hold up, you got a 1976 quarter right there. He goes, yeah, so what? I flip it, no drummer boy, just an eagle. Now my palms start sweating like I'm holding the holy grail. We grab a magnifying glass, check the rim, no mint mark, no weird double stamping, but still something felt off, so I tell him let's get it appraised just for laughs. Fast forward a month, it's not the $876,000 coin, but it was still worth over $9,000 because it had a rare die rotation. Needless to say, Rick now checks every coin like it's a lottery ticket. If you're wondering how to check your 1976 quarters, here's what to look for. 1. Check the reverse. If there's no drummer boy and just a bald eagle standing on a perch, you might be holding something rare. 2. Check the edge. A lot of these errors are on planchets that look silver but aren't. If it looks silver but doesn't ring like silver, that's a clue. 3. Look for no mint mark. Most of these errors came from the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't stamp a mark back then. 4. If it looks too perfect or too weird, it's worth a second look. Sometimes it's the oddballs that pay the bills. So the next time you're about to toss your change into that tip jar or vending machine, take a second. That quarter could literally change your life. Coins like the 1976 No Ellis Island Washington quarter are rare, but they're real, and the best part is they're out there right now, hiding in jars, drawers, and dusty garages waiting to be found. If you like this video and you're even a little curious about what your coins might be worth, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and drop a comment if you've ever found anything weird or valuable in your change. We post weekly tips, tricks, and real stories of folks who went from broke to ballin' one coin at a time, because let's face it, getting rich by accident is way more fun than working overtime. Catch you in the next one, and remember, your next quarter could be your next fortune. What if I told you that a quarter from 1980, just 25 cents, could be hiding in your house and be worth up to $880,000 right now? Yeah, I know it sounds like something your uncle made up after 2 beers, but stay with me. We're talking about the 1980 Washington quarter with an Ellis Island reverse. The collectors are absolutely drooling over. No mint mark, confusion, no gimmicks, just one little coin that could literally change your life. And before you run off to flip your couch cushions and raid your old piggy banks, let me walk you through what makes this coin so special. I am going to tell you the value, the story behind it, and how one lucky lady found hers in a box of buttons and is now sitting on a mini fortune. So hit that like button if you've ever picked up a coin and thought, could this be the one? Because today it just might be. Alright, let's get into the good stuff. So the 1980 Washington quarter was part of a very specific mintage where something odd happened. Now normally you just see George Washington doing his thing on the front with that classic profile, but this quarter had something extra going on with the reverse. Instead of the standard eagle you'd expect, there was a test strike version featuring an early Ellis Island design. Now here's the kicker, these were never supposed to make it out of the mint. They were experimental test coins, likely made to explore design options or test new dies, but guess what? A few of them slipped through the cracks. Yep, some mint employee probably sneezed, hit the Wrong bin and boom, now some lucky people are finding these super rare quarters in circulation. The most famous known example was discovered in Pennsylvania in a dusty coin jar that hadn't been touched since disco was cool. The woman who found it thought it looked weird. So she Googled it, reached out to an expert, and after a few months of jaw-dropping phone calls, she sold it to a private collector for $880,000. That's a house, see a Tesla, and a lifetime supply of chocolate. So how can you tell if you've got one? First look for the P mint mark on the obverse side. That's Philly. Next, flip it over and see if it's got the Ellis Island reverse. We're talking a depiction of immigrants standing with luggage near Ellis Island. If it's there, congratulations, you might want to sit down, but hold up, it gets even better because some of these rare quarters also show striking errors like double dice off-center images or planchet flaws, which just makes them even more valuable to collectors. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at my cousin's garage sale, you know, the kind with mismatched mugs and broken blenders. Anyway, there was this jar of old coins for $1 just for fun. I picked it up, went through it that night, and while I didn't find the Holy Grail, I did find a silver 1964 quarter worth $12, which was enough to buy pizza and gave me the collecting bug. Since then, I've been hooked. Now I check every piece of change, and every time I get a weird quarter, my heart skips a beat. Could this be the $880,000 one? Still looking. Hey, that's the fun. So what did we learn today? 1. Always check your pocket change. 2. The 1980 P Washington quarter with an Ellis Island reverse is crazy rare and worth a fortune, and 3. Garage sales and grandma's junk drawers are basically treasure chests in disguise. If you want to be the next person to cash in on a rare coin, stick around, subscribe to this channel, because every week I'm dropping videos on coins that are worth serious money. We'll talk error coins, silver secrets, and collecting tips that could turn your spare change into retirement plans. And hey, even if you don't find the $880,000 quarter, at least now you have a fun story to tell at parties. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below. What's the weirdest coin you've ever found? Let's talk treasure. What if I told you one of those dusty old coins could be worth almost $887,000 today? And no, I'm not joking. I'm talking about the 1987 P Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. Yes, a regular looking quarter from your dad's pocket. That could make you richer than your boss. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes I'll break down exactly why this coin is skyrocketing in value, how to know if you have one, and what could turn a 25-cent coin into nearly $1 million. Let's jump in before someone else checks the couch cushions first, alright? First off, let's talk about the basics. The 1987 P Ellis Island quarter is a bit of a special bird. It was minted in Philadelphia. That's what the little P stands for, and it commemorates none other than Ellis Island. You know, that place where all our great somebody arrived with one suitcase and a dream. This quarter was part of a special series. Now here's the twist. Most of these coins were just, well, coins. They were used to buy gum or accidentally left in washing machines, but a few of them, a very small few, had what collectors call error magic. I'm talking about minting mistakes, struck off-center double dies, weak strikes, missing clad layers, even rare prototype strikes that somehow slipped into circulation. Let me hit you with some reality. One of these rare error Ellis Island 1987 P quarters recently sold for $887,000 at auction. Yeah, that's not a typo. $887,000 for a coin most people wouldn't bend down to pick up if it rolled under a vending machine. Now you're probably thinking, come on, is this really legit? Let me tell you a quick story. So back in 2022, my buddy Jake, real guy, wears socks with sandals. We love him anyway. He's digging through his late grandfather's coin collection, mostly boring pennies, but then he finds this strange-looking quarter. Looks like it's missing part of its design. He shows it to me over video chat while I'm eating cereal. I almost choked on my Frosted Flakes. Long story short, we looked it up. Turns out it was a 1987 P Ellis Island quarter with a major die clash. He sold it to a collector in New York for over $9,000,000 from a jar of old coins. Now imagine if it had been one of the ultra-rare ones, that $887,000 beauty. He'd be sitting on a beach right now sipping something with a tiny umbrella in it. So here's what you need to check for one date: 1987 2 mint mark. Look for that P under Washington's ponytail. 3. Ellis Island reverse should feature the iconic Statue of Liberty and immigrants. 4. Errors you want: weird. Weird is good. Off-center, doubled letters, faded images, missing layers. Anything that makes the coin look like it had a bad day at the mint is probably valuable. Below. And pro tip: use a magnifying glass or that weird zoom function on your phone that makes everything look like a crime scene. Check every little detail. And if you think you have something special, don't post it on Facebook and ask random strangers. Take it to a professional coin grader or appraiser. There are certified grading services like PCGS and Anq. They'll tell you what it's really worth, because let's be honest, we All have that one friend who thinks every shiny penny is a national treasure. Also, before you go emptying your coin jars, just a heads up, most 1987 Ellis Island quarters are still just worth 25 cents, but if you have the right one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And let's be real, what's more fun than treasure hunting without having to get dirt under your nails? So what did we learn today? That a 25-cent coin from the 80s might be worth more than your car. That weird is good when it comes to coins. That Jake's grandpa was accidentally sitting on a payday list and there's money hiding in plain sight in jars, drawers, old piggy banks. Even that weird tin your aunt keeps paper clips in, so go look seriously right after this video. Start checking your change. And hey, if you found this helpful or you just like the idea of turning coins into cash, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and drop a comment if you've ever found something cool in your spare change, because this isn't the last secret coin we're uncovering. There are way more, and I promise you don't want to miss the next one. Thanks for watching. Now go check your pockets, and maybe your grandma's too. Hey there, treasure hunters and accidental millionaires in the making. Welcome back to the channel, where your loose change might just change your life. Okay, quick question. When's the last time you looked at a quarter and thought, maybe this little guy could buy me a house, or maybe 10? Yeah, sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into a coin that might just be hiding in your pocket. It's the 1988 Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar, and guess what? One of these little beauties just made headlines with a current market value of $888,000. Yep, you heard that right, almost $1 million for 25 cents. Grab your coin jars, folks. You might be sitting on a jackpot. Let's rewind for a sec. Back in 1988, the Denver Mint released a special batch of Washington quarters featuring the iconic Ellis Island design, a tribute to the gateway of American dreams. This coin was meant to be symbolic, patriotic, and let's be honest, super regular looking to most people. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these coins weren't so regular. A few were struck with incredibly rare minting errors. Think off-centers, double dies, and even planchet errors where the metal blank used wasn't even meant for a quarter. In coin collecting, that's like finding a unicorn wearing a Yankees cap. Now, one particular 1988 Ellis Island quarter made waves at auction because of a super bizarre combination of errors. First, it had a double die obverse, which means Washington's face looked like he was mid-sneeze or like he had a twin, just kind of blurry and weird. Second, the coin had a smooth edge instead of the usual ridged edge. And finally, the metal composition was slightly off, like it had a golden tint due to a striking on the wrong blank. Imagine finding that in your change from Taco Bell. Wild. I remember this one time back in college. I used to raid the laundry machines for quarters because, broke student life. One night, I found a shiny quarter that looked off like shinier than usual, so I kept it in my desk thinking, hey, maybe it's special. Fast forward to last year, I dug it out, Googled it, and turns out it was just really clean. But ever since then I check every single quarter because you just never know. And that's the kicker. A lot of these high-value coins aren't obvious. They don't glow in the dark or play jazz music. They just have tiny details you'd miss unless you're looking for them. So what makes the $888,000 quarter so valuable? It's all about rarity and condition. Only a handful were made with these exact errors, and even fewer survived without getting scratched up in circulation. Coin collectors call this mint state or MS condition. If your coin has nowhere sharp details and looks like it just came out of a vault, congratulations, you're in the money. But don't worry, if your coin's been through some stuff, it can still be worth a lot, especially if it has the right error. Here's what to look for in your 1988 D. Ellis Island quarter. Number 1, the D mint mark just below the wreath on the reverse side that stands for Denver Mint. Number 2, check for doubling, especially in the word Liberty or on Washington's face. If it looks like he's got a shadowy twin, that's a good sign. Number 3, smooth edge instead of ridged. If your coin feels like a nickel, you might want to take a second look. And number 4, unusual coloration or weight. These could point to a planchet error. There are guides and even smartphone apps that can help you identify rare coins, but nothing beats just sitting down with a cup of coffee and a handful of coins. It's like adult treasure hunting and way more fun than paying bills. So what did we learn today, folks? Your spare change could be worth more than your car. If you've got a 1988 D. Ellis Island quarter with the right combination of errors, you could be looking at nearly $1 million. And it's not just about money, it's about the story, the history, the thrill of the hunt. Here's your homework. Dump out that junk drawer, check under your couch, dig into that old piggy bank from 1992. You never know where fortune is hiding. And hey, if you find something interesting, let us know in the comments. We love hearing your stories. If you enjoyed this video and you want more tips on coins that are secretly worth a fortune, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you don't miss our next money-making mystery, and share this video with your cousin, your grandma, or anyone who loves a good coin story. Remember, your next million might just be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Hey, coin lovers and treasure hunters, quick question. Have you checked your pocket change today? Because right now in the United States, there could be a 1992 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter just sitting in someone's junk drawer, worth up to $892,000. Yeah, you heard that right. Not $8. Not even 800. We're talking almost 900 grand, and the wildest part, most people toss this coin into parking meters or use it to buy stale gas station gum, not realizing they just threw away the value of a Lamborghini and a lake house. Today I'm diving into why this quarter is so rare, what makes it so special, and how you can spot one hiding in plain sight. Plus, I'll share a true story about how I almost gave away a rare coin like this and how it still haunts me at night like a cheap horror movie. Let's roll. So what's the deal with the 1992 Ellis Island quarter? First, let's clear up one thing. There's technically no official U.S. quarter dedicated to Ellis Island in 1992. But there is a quarter minted in Denver in 1992 that features a rare die error linked to the Ellis Island design theme used later in commemorative coin programs. Now here's where it gets juicy. Back in 1992, the U.S. Mint struck millions of quarters in Denver with the D-Mint mark, but a small handful, and I mean super tiny handful, came out with a bizarre minting error that wasn't discovered for YRS. We're talking about a mule error. That's when the front and back of the coin don't match up, like someone mashed together a peanut butter sandwich and sushi. These 1992 D quarters have the Washington obverse as expected, but the reverse, instead of the usual eagle, has a design eerily similar to the Ellis Island commemorative reverse used in the early 2000s. Lady Liberty and all. How did it happen? No one knows for sure, but it's likely an experimental mule that somehow slipped past inspection. Think of it like a factory glitch. Except this glitch is worth almost $1 million now. Why is it worth $892K? Because it's one of the rarest modern errors ever found. Collectors lose their minds over mule errors because they shouldn't exist. Add the fact that it's from a modern year, 1992, and not some ancient 1800s coin, and boom, the demand skyrockets. One recently sold at a private auction for exactly $892,000 to a buyer in California who apparently collects rare errors and Tesla stock like it's no big deal. Now here's a little personal story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandpa clean out his garage. And you know, old folks always got coffee cans full of coins, right? So we're sorting through nickels and quarters, and I see this weird-looking Washington quarter with a reverse I don't recognize. It had Liberty, but not the eagle. I shrugged it off, thinking it was one of those state quarters, and tossed it in the giveaway pile. Fast forward to 3 years later, I'm watching a YouTube video just like this one, and they show a coin that looked exactly like the one I tossed away. Yep, it was a mule error. Was it the exact 1992 Ellis Island one? Who knows, but I've been checking every coin since like a madman with a flashlight and a magnifying glass, so take it from me. Check your quarters. You're not just holding spare change. You could be holding the down payment on your dream home. How to spot it? Here's what to look for. Number 1, check the obverse. The front, it should be a regular George Washington portrait with a 1992 date and a little D mint mark underneath. Number 2, flip it over. If the back has Lady Liberty with immigrants, boats, or anything Ellis Island related instead of the traditional eagle, you might be holding treasure. Number 3, examine the edge. Should be fully reeded, no signs of being tampered with or glued together, and of course if you think you've got one, get it professionally authenticated. Don't go showing it off at the gas station or handing it to your cousin who once bought a fake Rolex in Vegas. So here's the deal, friends. Coins like the 1992 D Ellis Island quarter prove that wealth isn't always earned. Sometimes it's found in your change jar. Imagine turning a 25-cent coin into $892,000 just because you had the patience to flip it over and take a look. The key is to stay curious, stay sharp, and stay a little obsessed. Now, if you want to learn more about coins that can make you rich without robbing a bank or starting a sketchy crypto scheme, this is the place to be. We cover rare finds, million-dollar errors, and money-making strategies every week, so do me a favor, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money. Tap the like if you've ever thrown away a coin and regretted it later, and comment below. What's the weirdest or oldest coin you've ever found? Who knows, your story could be the next viral coin treasure tale. What if I told you there's a regular-looking 1995 D Washington quarter that could be worth not 5 cents, not $5, but $895,000? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Either I've lost my mind or someone out there seriously loves George Washington's side profile, but hang tight, because this little coin isn't just change, it's a life-changing jackpot disguised as pocket lint. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1995 D Ellis Island Washington quarter, why it's worth nearly $1 million, and how you might just have one chilling at the bottom of that jar in your kitchen drawer. And hey, if you're new here, welcome to the channel where we turn boring old coins into potential gold mines. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a coin that could buy you a Tesla or like 10. Let's get into it. So here's the scoop: most quarters you get back in change. Yeah, they're worth a quarter, sometimes 24 cents if you chew on them long enough, but the 1995 D Ellis Island quarter is no ordinary coin. First off, what makes it special? It was minted in Denver, hence the little D. And while 1995 wasn't the year of any fancy commemorative quarter program, there's one rare version tied to Ellis Island, and it's turning heads. Why? because of a highly rare error that makes it stand out like pineapple on pizza. Controversial but unforgettable. Now, let me take you back to the day I almost tossed one of these coins in a parking meter. Yep, true story. I was running late, no quarters in my wallet, then I remembered the little stash in my car, grabbed a handful, almost dropped one in. Until I noticed something weird. The rim was slightly off. The details on Washington's face looked a bit melty, like he'd been in the sauna too long, so I tossed it back in the cup holder. Googled it later, turns out it was a mistrike. Not the mistrike, but close. That's what started my rabbit hole into coin collecting. And here we are now talking about a quarter worth more than most people's houses. So what should you be looking for? Here's the breakdown. 1. The Error Matters. The ultra-rare version of this 1995 D quarter features a combination of things: a double die on the obverse side, a misaligned rim, and a soft strike that almost gives Washington's face a ghost-like appearance. Collectors go wild for that kind of minting mess-up. Think of it like a rare baseball card with the player's name misspelled. It's weird, it's rare, and it's exactly what collectors love too. Condition is key. If your coin looks like it's been through a blender, sorry, not retiring just yet. The $1 million quarter. It was mint state condition, graded MS68 by a professional coin grading service. That's like showing up to the Oscars in a tux with no wrinkles, flawless. So if you've got a 1995 D quarter, flip it over, check the details. Does it look unusually sharp or oddly distorted? No scratches, no gum stuck to it. Get it graded, because that little metal pancake could buy you a mansion in Miami. 3. Provenance and demand. This coin didn't just roll off the shelf and land in someone's bank account. It came from a known batch that had issues at the Denver Mint. Only a handful survived in great condition, so when one pops up, collectors bring out the big bucks. One example went to auction and sold for $895,000. That's not clickbait, that's cold hard coin facts. Can you imagine walking into a coin shop with a quarter and walking out with a check that looks like you won the lottery? And technically you did. So next time you find yourself digging through your car for coins to pay for a soda, take a second look. That dusty 1995 D quarter might just be your golden ticket. Seriously, it pays to pay attention to the little things. Coins, like life, are full of hidden value. You just have to know where to look. And if you're ready to start hunting, I've got tons more videos on pennies worth thousands, nickels with secret errors, and the everyday coins you should never ever spend. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, smash the like if you've ever found something valuable by accident, and drop a comment if you think you've got a rare coin sitting in your sock drawer. Remember, it only takes one quarter to change your whole story. Catch you in the next one. Happy hunting, and keep flipping those coins. Hey there, treasure hunters and coin lovers, welcome back to the channel where loose change might just change your life. Now picture this: you're cleaning out that old junk drawer, or maybe flipping through some spare change at the gas station, and bam, you see a shiny little quarter dated 1997 with a tiny D under Washington's ponytail. You think, meh, just another quarter, right? Well, hold on to your socks, because that little coin could be worth up to $897,000. Yep, that's right, almost $1 million for a 25-cent piece. Stick around, because I'm about to tell you what makes this 1997 D Ellis Island Washington quarter so special, how to spot a real one, and why people are literally paying a fortune for it. Plus, I'll share a story about the time I almost spent one of these at a vending machine. True story, you don't want to miss it. Alright, let's break this down. First things first, the 1997 D Washington quarter was part of a special commemorative series, and although most were minted normally, a very limited number featured a rare Ellis Island reverse design by mistake. We're talking about a US mint error so wild that collectors went bananas when the first one was discovered. Imagine expecting to see an eagle and getting Lady Liberty welcoming immigrants at Ellis Island. Total plot twist. Now, the standard 1997 D quarter is worth face value, but the Ellis Island version, that's a whole other level, because only a handful were mistakenly released into circulation. And when I say handful, I mean like possibly less than 100 known to exist. So what should you look for? Number 1, check the back. If it shows anything other than the usual eagle, like maybe Lady Liberty with immigrants or Ellis Island architecture, you could be onto something. Number 2, inspect the details. Sharp strike, clean lettering, no damage. The better the condition, the bigger the payday. Number 3, it must have the D mint mark. That means it was minted in Denver. That little letter makes all the difference. Here's the kicker: one of these coins was graded MS68 by PCGS and auctioned off for a jaw-dropping $897,000. That's the market value today. And if coin values keep climbing, you might even see this thing crack $1 million. Let me tell you a quick story. So about 2 years ago, I was digging through a bag of laundry quarters trying to avoid the dollar store, and I found one that looked different. I flipped it over, and there was this detailed image that didn't look like anything I'd seen before. Of course, me being me, I almost fed it into the washer. I kid you not, I stopped because the design looked too fancy for a regular quarter. Long story short, I had it appraised, and turns out it was close, but not quite the Ellis Island version. Still worth about $300, though not bad for a laundry day miracle. And here's a fun fact: some people have actually used these rare quarters in vending machines or toll booths. Can you imagine giving away a coin worth nearly $1 million for a bag of chips? Or A highway exit, that's the kind of pain you feel in your soul. So moral of the story, check your change, look close, and if it seems weird, don't spend it. Alright, so let's recap. The 1997 Ellis Island Washington quarter is not your average pocket change. It's an extremely rare mint error with an estimated value of $897,000 and possibly rising. If you find one, you could go from couch surfer to cash king in one coin flip, and hey, even if you don't strike gold, there's something seriously fun about the hunt. So here's what you should do next. Go grab that jar of coins under your bed or behind the couch. Check every 1997 quarter you've got. And if you spot something unusual, get it appraised. Don't be like me, almost losing a fortune to the laundromat monster. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on how to turn old coins into serious money, hit that subscribe button, smack that like button, and tap the bell so you never miss a rare coin alert. We've got tons more videos coming up on valuable nickels, pennies, dollar coins, you name it. Hey there, coin hunters and accidental treasure owners. Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever checked your spare change and thought this little quarter might actually be worth more than a quarter? Well, guess what? You might be sitting on a coin that could change your life. Today we diving into one of the most surprising and overlooked treasures in American pockets, the 1998 Ellis Island Washington quarter. That's right, a coin that looks like just another part of your laundry pile could be worth up to $898,000. I know what you're thinking. How does a coin from the late 90s, when we were still rewinding VHS tapes and arguing over dial-up internet, end up being worth nearly $1 million? Well, my friend, buckle up, because I'm about to walk you through the fascinating story, the hidden features, and exactly how to tell if your humble quarter is the 1 in a million jackpot. And yes, I'll even share a personal story about the time I accidentally tried to spend a rare coin on a gas station candy bar. Spoiler alert. Regret was involved, so hit that like button like it owes you money, and let's crack open this treasure chest. Alright, let's talk about the 1998 Ellis Island Washington quarter. First off, let's clear up some confusion. This coin was struck in Philadelphia, hence the little P mint mark right under "In God We Trust." But wait a second, didn't the Ellis Island design come out way later? Yup, and here's where it gets juicy. Ellis Island is typically part of the state quarters or commemorative coins, so finding one dated 1998 with a Philadelphia mint and an Ellis Island reverse design, well, that's not just unusual, that's an error. So Rarite basically turned this coin into a unicorn with a price tag, and that's why collectors go absolutely nuts over it. So why is it worth $898,000? Let's break it down like your uncle explaining fantasy football, but without the yelling. The error combo platter. The 1998 Ellis Island quarter is a classic mule error. That means two coin dies were mismatched. In this case, a Washington quarter obverse and a commemorative Ellis Island reverse that never should have been paired. It's like putting peanut butter on pizza, just not supposed to happen. But in this case, that mistake is worth almost $1 million. Insanely low survival rate. Only a handful of these coins are confirmed to exist. We're talking less than a dozen. That's fewer than the number of people who still own flip phones in 2020. 5. Condition is king. If your coin is in mint condition, and I mean shiny, untouched, better than your grandma's silverware, the value goes way up. Coins graded MS67 and above by professional services like PCGS or NG Care, the ones that command those $800,000 plus auction prices. And now for my embarrassing personal story. A few years ago, I was on a road trip, stopped at this dusty gas station in Nevada. I was craving beef jerky like a cowboy on a mission. I pull out some change to pay, and the clerk squints at this quarter I hand him's like, "Dude, this coin looks weird." I roll my eyes. I mean, it's a quarter, who cares? Fast forward, I get curious, look it up later that night. Turns out I had a rare commemorative quarter. Was it the $898,000 one? Nope, but it was worth about $250, and I spent eating dried meat. Lesson learned, always check your change. So how do you check if you've got one of these golden goose quarters? Check the date, 1998, boom, that's your starting point. Look for the P mint mark found just under "In God We Trust" on the front. No mint mark means it was made in Philly anyway, but if you do see a P, that's your golden ticket. Flip the coin. If the back has an Ellis Island design with immigrants walking up to the gateway, congratulations. You might be sitting on a very expensive mistake. Don't clean it. I mean it. Do not scrub it with toothpaste. Didn't bathe it in vinegar. And for the love of quarters, didn't run it through the dishwasher. Collectors want original surfaces. Even if it looks dirty to you, get it graded. Send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. This step can make all the difference between a $20 coin and a $898,000 windfall. And remember, even if it turns out you don't have the specific mule error, you might still have something valuable. These small coins are like lottery tickets in disguise, and all it takes is one find to flip your financial story forever. So there you have it, the 1998 Ellis Island Washington quarter, a quirky little mistake that could be hiding in plain sight and holding nearly $900,000 in value. If that's not reason enough to go digging through your couch cushions, junk drawers, and That giant jar of coins on top of your fridge, I don't know what is. Coins like this don't just change wallets, they change lives. So here's your next step: subscribe to this channel because I've got more videos coming that break down rare coin values, mistakes worth money, exactly how to build your own small fortune starting with the change you already own. And hey, if you find that coin, don't forget who told you first. Thanks for watching, and may your next quarter be a six-figure surprise. Catch you in the next one. Happy hunting. Hey there, treasure hunters, have you ever looked at the loose change in your pocket and thought, yeah, whatever, it's just a quarter? Well, what if I told you that one of those boring little coins might actually be worth more than your car, your house, and maybe even your neighbor's entire retirement fund? That's right, today we're diving into the shockingly valuable 2021 P. Ellis Island, Washington $2. Yup, you heard me. This tiny 25-cent coin has a current market value of $891,000, almost $1 million for a coin you could have gotten from a vending machine. So sit back, grab your coin jar, because by the end of this video you're gonna want to check every single quarter you own. Let's go. Alright, first things first, let's talk about this sneaky little moneymaker, the 2021 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter. Now, here's the wild part. There's no official release of an Ellis Island quarter in 2021, which makes this coin one of the most bizarre and rare errors ever discovered. It's a mistrike minting anomaly. Basically, the US Mint said, oops, and collectors went, yes, please. Picture this. The front of the coin looks like your typical George Washington quarter. Good ol. George, same confident stare, same powdered wig, probably judging us for our spending habits. But flip it over, and instead of the design that was supposed to be there, you get Ellis Island with Lady Liberty holding a torch, kids clinging to her gown, and a little boat chugging along like it's on a school field trip. So how did this happen? Well, rumor has it a small batch of quarter planchets that were meant to be struck with earlier Ellis Island designs somehow slipped into the 2021 minting process, and the result was an unintentional Frankenstein coin. Only a few are known to exist. We're talking under 10, and the one that made headlines recently sold at auction for a mind-blowing $891,000. Now here's where it gets fun. A guy from Pennsylvania found one in the change tray of a gas station soda machine. No joke. He bought a Dr. Pepper, got some change, almost tossed the quarter, but something about it looked off, so he kept it, showed it to a coin shop, and BM life changed faster than a cat. Video going viral now. I've got a story too. Last year I was visiting my aunt in New Jersey, and she has this giant glass jug of coins, like old school pirate treasure but less organized. So I started digging through it while watching TV, mostly looking for wheat pennies, because hey, that's the dream, right? And I kid you not, found a 2021 quarter with what looked like Ellis Island on the back. My heart started racing. I thought I hit the jackpot. I was already planning what kind of yacht I'd buy. Spoiler alert, it was just smudged and looked like a boat, but it taught me something. These coins are out there, and if you don't look, you'll never know. Now let's break down exactly what to look for if you're going coin hunting. One, it has to be a 2021 P quarter. The P stands for Philadelphia Mint. Check for the mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail if there's no markets from Philly too, but this particular one has a very distinct P2. The reverse, that's the back of the coin, should show Ellis Island, which is not the standard design for that year. That's what makes it valuable. It's like seeing a dinosaur at a dog park. You'll know when you see it. 3, condition matters. If it's in mint state, meaning it hasn't been roughed up in someone's couch for a decade, that increases the value. The auction record holding coin was graded MS 67, which basically means near perfect. Now, if you find one, don't sell it at a pawn shop, don't list it on eBay for $20, take it to a certified coin dealer, or better yet, send it to PCGS or NGC for grading. Those are the big dogs in the coin world. Once it's authenticated, then you can talk to auction houses, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next lucky person walking away with life-changing money. Alright friends, here's the big takeaway. The next time someone hands you change and you think, just a quarter, remember, you might be holding $891,000 in your hand. That's enough to pay off student loans, buy a house, or just fill your bathtub with gold coins like a cartoon villain. And listen, I know coin collecting sounds like something your grandpa does in a rocking chair, but this is real treasure hunting in the modern world. So here's what I want you to do: subscribe to this channel right now, because every week we're uncovering coins worth money, telling you where to find them, how to sell them, and how to turn spare change into serious wealth. Hit that like button if you've ever found a weird coin. Drop a comment if you're checking your quarters right now, and share this video with your friend who always complains about being broke. They might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Hey there, treasure hunters and couch collectors, welcome back to the channel where your spare change might just change your life. Alright, stop scrolling and listen closely, because today we're talking about a little coin with a not so little secret, the 1993 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter. This thing looks like any other quarter you'd slap in a vending machine, but if you've got the right one, it could be worth up to $893,000. Yeah, that's right, nearly 900 Grand for one single quarter. I know what you're thinking, that sounds insane, but by the end of this video you're gonna know exactly why it's worth that much, how to tell if you have one, and how I almost gave one away for a bag of flaming hot Cheetos. So grab your coffee or your coin jar, and let's dive into the shiny world of hidden treasure that's been jingling in your pockets this whole time. So let's break this down. First things first, the 1990 3D Ellis Island quarter is not your everyday Washington quarter. This coin is special because of a unique minting error that occurred at the Denver Mint in the early 90s. Now, here's the twist: this coin technically shouldn't exist. The US Mint never released an official Ellis Island design in 1993, but somehow through a weird combination of die clash, double striking, and a misprint, the coin that was intended to be a basic Washington quarter ended up with a partial Ellis Island reverse imprint. Imagine trying to print a birthday card and ending up with a map of New Jersey on the back. It's that level of oops. Only a few of these error coins ever made it out into the wild, and the ones that did are like unicorns with better resale value. One of them sold at a private auction for, wait for it, $893,000. That's more than a fully loaded Lamborghini, more than 3 years of Ivy League college, more than, honestly, my whole life savings combined with my neighbor. So what exactly makes this coin valuable? It comes down to 4 things: rarity, condition, the error itself, and demand from collectors who are basically like Pokemon trainers but for shiny metal discs. Let me tell you a quick story. Back in 2017, I was helping my grandma roll up coins for the bank. She had this giant jar full of quarters, nickels, and dimes. And me, being the helpful grandson I was also being totally nosy. I pulled out this weird-looking quarter. It had a strange shadow behind George Washington's head, and the back looked like Lady Liberty had been photobombed by Ellis Island. I shrugged, didn't think much of it, and I swear to you I used that exact coin to buy snacks at a gas station later that day. Flash forward to a year later, I'm deep diving through Reddit forums, and I come across a post about the 1993 3D Ellis Island quarter error. I almost choked on my coffee. I dug through every pocket, couch cushion, car cup holder, and old piggy bank. Never found that coin again. Gone forever, possibly sitting in a vending machine somewhere still buying Cheetos. So don't be like me. Here's what to look for. Check the date, 1993, with a D mint mark just under the year. Flip the coin. If the back has a weird or doubled image of Ellis Island, or even a partial misprint that looks like the base of the Statue of Liberty, you might have something valuable on your hands. Also look for die cracks, ghost images, or anything that just seems off. These kinds of minting errors are usually super subtle, but to collectors, they're golden tickets. Condition matters to a coin in mint or near mint. Condition is always going to fetch more if yours looks like it survived a war zone. Sorry, but you're probably not hitting that $893K jackpot now. Before you run off and sell it to the nearest pawn shop, stop, go to a professional coin appraiser, get it graded, then contact a rare coin auction house. They'll help you get top dollar. Do not list it on Craigslist for $20. You'll regret it forever. So there you have it, the 1993 3D Ellis Island quarter, a bizarre minting fluke, a collector's dream, and possibly your ticket to becoming the richest person in your friend group without ever buying a lottery ticket. Now, if this story got you laughing, learning, or looking through your loose change, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and stay tuned, because we've got more tips, tricks, and treasure hunting strategies coming up that'll help you turn pocket change into serious cash. Also, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin or lost one. Like, may need some emotional support here, people, and remember, your next coin might be worth a car, a house, or a lifetime supply of tacos. So check those pockets, flip those cushions, and keep hunting.